this is Aaron Whitlow.
Oh, and I'm Brandon Spivey.
Brandon, we rehearsed this several times, man. Come on, man. Hey, and this is, he's going to say that part. Brandon's chuckling. We're not restarting this, Brandon. We're going to continue this. This is going on the first inaugural episode of the A&B Movie Show podcast. I am the A of the A&B.
He's the A, I'm the B.
He's the B.
Don't take it wrong, though. Please don't.
Yeah.
Lawsuit.
Yeah. So, on today's inaugural episode, we're going to be discussing several different things. First thing that we were wanting to really touch on is Us. Not Us, but the movie Us.
We're not going to touch Us, but we are going to review it.
We're going to review it. Yeah. Well, let's go ahead, and then also, if we get time, we're going to talk about Dumbo, and then just jump into some other stuff that Brandon got chosen out. That's not a word.
I decided to do topics, and he picked 5, I picked 5. We have time, we'll do all 10.
Yeah.
And discuss whatever comes up.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to come up with me or him.
Or, yeah, we're weird.
This is weird.
This is weird, but hey, it's going to be fun. Are you having fun, Brandon?
It's already a moment. I tell you that. If this goes out live, it's going to be something to see.
Yep.
And
here.
Discuss and, yeah.
Speaking of C, so right now I'm also recording on my iPad, and at the same time we are recording on my phone.
Which is my fault.
Well, we're still getting the kinks.
I don't have the audio for the podcast.
Yeah, we'll get
boo me. Boo, boo.
Boo us. Speaking of us, segue. Alright, so
I feel like my phone's going off.
First episode, we're talking about us. And I think we are.
We're going to discuss Us.
Alright, so Jordan Peele's follow-up to Get Out. Get Out was what, 2017?
Yes, 2017.
Alright, so this is Jordan Peele's follow-up to Get Out. And can you tell me a brief synopsis of Us?
Brief?
Without spoilers. Without spoilers, then we're going to get into spoilers. So.
About a family, an African-American family, going on vacation to this beach in Santa Cruz. Lost Boys. Hint. Segment. Right there.
Yeah, there's some Lost Boys references there.
Yeah, it's a Lost Boys reference. There's a Goonies reference, too. There's a lot of references.
Spoilers, Brandon. Spoilers. Come on, man.
There's just references.
That's not really big, but all right. What else is this movie about? So they make it to Santa Cruz, and what happens?
There's a family identical to them in their driveway.
And comedy ensues.
It does ensue something.
And so that's what it's about. And then, so they got to pretty much deal with this family that looks identical to them in their driveway, in their home. Craziness, using trailers. Now, at this point, we are going to go through spoilers. So, I'm just giving you a heads up right now. This is about spoilers of this movie. Alright, so once the family makes it into the house, you're going to find out, yes, they are identical to each and every single one of the family members that we have come to know. You have the mother, Adeline, I believe her name. The father, I don't remember his name, but he wears
to be honest with you, I don't remember any of the names.
He wears the Howard shirt, so I'm going to just call him Howard.
I did love the kid that wore the Jaws shirt.
Jaws kid, and then Mask kid.
I think he was his name Josh?
Jason.
Jason, yeah. How could I forget Jason?
I do remember Jason. And then the daughter's name is Zoe. Zora. It's like Zora Neale Hurston. It's like Zora Neale Hurston, a writer. So Zora. And then so they have a family that's in their living room that looks exactly like them. Come to find out this family they're tethered. And what does it mean to be a person's tethered, Brandon?
You run with this one.
Okay, all right. So a person's tethered is someone that looks identical to them, They're doppelganger, and then the person, the tethered, pretty much does exactly what the person their doppelganger does. Now it's getting confusing. So the people that is above ground, that is normal, they have tethers that looks just like them, and those tethers do exactly what they do. So if in my life I got a new ball for Christmas, the tethered will get a new ball, but it might actually be broken glass. Or if I get a sandwich to eat, the tether will actually get a live rabbit to eat, and the rabbit screams. And yeah, so things like that happens. And so this family is trying to fight their way through the night, through the day, to survive these tethers. And at first, you think it's an isolated incident where it just happened to be this family that has doppelgangers that look just like them. But what you come to find out is that they have other people have them. Everybody has them.
Everyone has them.
Everyone that's ever stepped foot in the United States of America,
or possibly the whole world.
I'm gonna say just the United States.
It was
because hands across America. It wasn't hands across the world.
Yeah, you got a point there.
But yeah, so they all have. Everybody has doppelgangers. I have one. Brandon has one. They're somewhere still holding hands somewhere. But anyway, what did I think of this movie? I'm interested to hear Brandon's thoughts first. Brandon, what you think about this movie?
Well, the first time I saw it, I thought it was interesting take on it. I didn't love it, didn't hate it, didn't know how I felt, honestly.
Mixed feelings.
I had mixed feelings. I thought it was well shot, well directed, well acted. I just didn't know what I felt about the story. So I went and saw it again yesterday with a friend, and it didn't go so well for me. Disliked it even more. I don't like this movie.
Oh, so you left out final thoughts. I hated it. That's your final thoughts.
I won't say I hated it. I just didn't like it.
Was it like, all right, so let me tell you mine. When I initially saw the movie, my first thoughts was meh. Like, I left out of the movie thinking, it was okay. You know, I wasn't really blown away by the movie. You know, so that was my very first inclination when I seen the movie. Second time I watched it, my thoughts was, and not only that, my second time watching it, but coupled with going on YouTube and looking at some explanations and some breakdowns and things like that, I looked at it like, oh, this is not bad. Okay, now I see that. But, you know, I think it's cool that movie is that deep and layered, but I also don't really think that you should have to go home, do homework, movies.
Yeah, 100% agree. I didn't know how I felt after I saw it the first time. I know exactly how I feel after watching it again. I do not want to see it again.
So this is not. So all right. Let me ask you this real quick. So with that being said, you must have enjoyed Get Out then.
Loved Get Out.
Loved Get Out, but not so much Us.
Not so much.
Okay. So,
but I do think he's a good director. Jordan Peele, I think, is a great director. It wasn't directed bad. It's just I don't enjoy the story. It's the story for me.
It's cool. Well, the story in itself is kind of convoluted. It's not clear cut. It's not bad that it's not clear cut. You know, because some movies are so layered, and you're like, oh wow, I didn't even think about that. And so it's cool in the sense of that you got to be a deep thinker when it comes to this. I'm not saying that you're not a deep thinker. I'm saying, but I do think that most of the times when people came out the movie theater, I also work at the movie theater. So most of the times when people left the theater after watching this film, their reactions was more like, what did I finish watching? And there's got to be a sequel. And I seen one lady literally, like on YouTube, looking at endings explained right after the movie, So I don't think that should be the case. Now, a movie should leave you wanting more in some sense, right?
Yeah, you should want more after watching them.
But I don't think that it should actually leave you wanting to do homework.
No, you shouldn't have to do homework. I got the movie. I just didn't like what I got.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So spoilers. So all right, we can find something nice about it, right? You know how they say.
There's a lot of nice things
say
about
something
it.
nice about it. So Brandon, say something nice about this movie. What's something nice about it?
Winston Duke is awesome in this movie.
That's the dad.
He's the father.
Howard.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call him Howard.
I wouldn't.
That's the shirt.
That's the shirt. Yeah. It's
Maybe I should just look up what school he went to. No, what school he went to.
Pretty sure he went to Howard.
he's false flagging. He didn't go to Howard.
But I loved him in this movie.
Gabe is his name. He also played, his doppelganger's name was Abraham. So
that makes sense, actually.
His name
would be Abraham.
Abraham seems like an old. Now, my favorite doppelganger in this film was actually Lupita. Lupita, who actually played Adeline and Adelie and Red, the mom doppelganger.
Okay.
So that's the one that I liked the most because
who isn't actually a doppelganger.
Spoilers. Yeah, well, we're in spoilers. Yeah. So the big twist at the end of the film that you find out that the mom Adeline is actually the doppelganger, and then Red is actually the little girl at the very beginning of the film that was taken by Adeline, the doppelganger, and switched.
And I thought that was predictable.
I thought it was too. You know when I got it when the mother said, or they says, when is she gonna start talking? And then she says, I just want my daughter back. At that moment, in that very first little flashback, whatever, I thought, oh, she got switched.
That's when my girlfriend got it. I didn't get it that soon. But
when did you get it?
I got it when they arrived at the beach house. She was freaking out about everything and about going back. I know normally you would think that she don't want to go back because what happened to her, but it was something more deeper. It was something more deeper there with her. I could tell it was something deeper. I was like, she's not the right girl, the right woman.
So let me ask you this question, though. Knowing the end, knowing the twist, knowing that she is the actual tethered, right? Yeah. And then Red is the actual human being, born of this earth on this plane, right?
Yeah.
So do you feel more sympathetic toward Red, or do you feel more sympathetic still towards Adelie, the mom? I'm going to call her the mom because she had mother characteristics throughout the whole film.
Truth is, I really didn't feel sympathetic for either one.
Really?
Yeah, because at this point, both viewings, I was out of the movie by then. I couldn't wait for it to be over.
So you was bored.
I was bored.
You was bored in us.
I was bored.
Was it because of the hype? Was it because of Get Out and the successful Get Out, and then?
Yeah, I think if Get Out wasn't as successful and this movie wasn't as hyped, I probably would have liked it better.
Okay.
But this movie is way overhyped. It may be the most overhyped movie I've ever seen and talked about.
Speaking of which, so with that said, yeah, we have pretty much talked about this film. So, all right, we're not going to dwell on it because this is now a few weeks since that film has come out. All right, we're not going to do thumbs up, thumbs down because Siskel and Ebert had that. We got to have our own thing. I don't know what we're going to do, but I'm going to say, all right, this is what we do. Would you buy it? If it's on TV, would you watch it? Or I wasted my time. I want my money back.
It's a tough one. It's not number one, but
if it's on TV, would you watch it?
Would I watch it again or for the very first time?
For the very first time.
I would watch it. I've never seen it.
All right, again, knowing that you've seen it, would you watch it again?
I never want to see this again.
All right.
It didn't hit me like it hit some people.
All right, so for you, it's you wasted your time?
I wasted my time. It's not a masterpiece.
You want your money back?
I would love to have my money back. Although yesterday was a free ticket, so I'm good.
All right. All right. For me, we gotta get a better rating system because But for me,
Always go with the classic stars. Like 5 stars is absolute best.
if we're gonna do stars, then in that case, give it like 3 stars. 3 stars.
Okay, go ahead.
I say 3 stars because 3 means that I would say it's not terrible.
It's not a terrible movie,
but it's not a 5-star where I need to buy it.
I would give it a 2.75, and I would give it that for the acting, the directing.
Oh, for the acting? No, I think the acting is.
I think acting's 5.
I think the acting's 5.
I think the score's 5 in my opinion.
Score's 5. I agree.
Cinematography is 5 in my opinion.
I agree with that.
It's just the stories.
The script.
It's
the screenplay. The writing.
It's a big mess to me. It's just a mess overall for me, and
we're gonna by the next episode we'll have a better rating system. We're gonna get together on this because I just thought about something. Would I don't know. I forgot what I thought about. I thought about something, but now I forgot it. But we'll have a better rating system next time around. But yeah, bottom line.
But I would say if you're interested in seeing it, go see it.
Go see it. Don't let our opinions. Don't let Brandon's hate for this movie. Don't let Aaron's for this movie persuade you in not seeing it. I think absolutely you may go watch it. You may love it. I know some people that swears about this film. I know some people that doesn't really like it. And that's the point. I just remember what I was gonna say. So
go right ahead, say it.
All right. So maybe our rating system will be this, and we'll kind of branch out and see if it's true. All right. So you have a movie that you consider a straight up masterpiece. In your opinion, I believe it's Jaws.
Oh, definitely.
All right, Jaws is your masterpiece
I've ever seen.
All right.
For me.
All right, and then you have tiers of that. So Jaws is the best movie. Some movies I really dug this movie, and so you'll buy it. And some movies I would watch it if it's on TV. And some movies I will not even waste my time watching this. So, is it a Jaws or is it for me, the movie that I won't waste my time watching is, first of all, for me, the movie that is a movie that is a masterpiece to me is, I don't know, there's so many.
There is a lot of masterpieces.
I don't know. We got to think of better.
John Carpenter's The Thing, Halloween.
I think we might even just say, is it a masterpiece or is it whatever, or is it just trash? So in your opinion, it's trash.
I don't want to call it trash. I will say it's a dud.
All right.
For me.
Or is it bargain bin?
Yeah, it's a bargain bin.
Would you buy it if it's in a bargain bin, or like if it's $1? Would you buy it?
For my girlfriend, I would buy it.
So,
but not for me.
Not for you. Okay. All right. Moving on from us. All right. Well, Brandon, you seen us. I've seen us, but we also saw Dumbo.
We did see Dumbo.
I saw Dumbo.
That little cute little elephant that flies.
Friday night. I took my grandchild.
You haven't seen the animated film. Go ahead, Aaron.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of which, I'd never seen the animated film until this is. Let me rephrase that. So, all right, I've seen parts of the animated film. I've seen parts of Bambi. I've never seen Bambi. I've never really seen Dumbo.
Bambi will make you cry.
I know about it. I know what would happen. So I don't know if I would still cry if I know what would happen.
Oh, it's going to make you cry.
All right. Challenge accepted. But
if they ever make a live action version of it. Or if you ever watch the animated version.
I watch the animated
all the way through.
All the way through.
When the mother dies, you will tear.
You just ruin it for me. I already knew this. Never mind.
You have to know this. How can you not know about Bambi and not know the mother dies?
Yo.
That's kind of like...
I had a girl that when I worked at the movie theater years ago didn't know that she seen Joan of Arc, and she didn't know that Joan of Arc got burnt at the stake. She came out to the movie being like, and she died? Yes, it's history. She died. Just open the book.
Open many books, not history books, though. But, you know.
But I digress. So, Dumbo. I seen Dumbo with my grandchild, and you know what? Not knowing the source material like that, I absolutely loved the film. I loved it. Brandon just made a noise in his pocket.
My phone keeps going off. Never goes off during the day. It's going off like
right now,
like thunder right now.
But yeah, I like the movie. Brandon and you.
Oh, I love the movie. I took it with my son. I took my son. I didn't take it with my son.
Took the movie with you. He stole the movie piracy.
I would. No, I would. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really had a good time. It was really mad. I'm not a big Tim Burton fan, by the way. I don't know why I keep looking at the screen like something's there. But
maybe it is.
Maybe. We'll find out.
Right now, my screen went up on my iPad, so I don't know if it's still recording or not. Nevertheless,
but I felt it was magical, and
yeah.
And like I said, I'm not a huge Tim Burton fan, but
it
hit me in all the right places.
Okay. You know what? I'm not a big Tim Burton fan. At one point, I was a big Tim Burton fan. I think Tim Burton went wrong at. I know you liked it. I don't know if you liked it. I thought you said you liked it. I believe he went wrong at Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I think that's when he started going downhill.
I don't think I've seen it.
All right, so then
I've seen the original, but I don't think I've seen it.
All right, so that's fine. I think he went downhill there. Also, I think he went downhill always having Helen Bonham part, whatever. And then Johnny Depp is always in his films. I think that's when he went downhill.
Love Johnny.
Sometimes.
Poor guy.
Sometimes. I mean...
Need a comeback, sir.
Not with Tim Burton. Make a comeback without Tim Burton. And is not playing Tonto or whoever he played in Lone Ranger. That's not your comeback, bro.
Stephen King's your comeback.
When? Like, he tried Stephen King. He
you
did.
Like that movie?
What, where he's a writer?
No. You didn't like it? I love it.
It was forgettable.
Not for me. It was very memorable.
Because you're a writer. Well, you're a writer.
I do right.
But yeah, it was all right. You know, the best part of that movie was, man, what is the guy's name? He plays in Transformers.
John Turturro.
Yeah.
I know this movie.
I love this guy. This guy is probably one of my favorite actors that I don't know his name. So, yeah.
He points out Transformers. I will go with Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Oh, yeah. Coen Brothers. But anyway, so we're running off.
We are running off topic
Dumbo.
Here. Dumbo. It was originally named Jumbo.
Little Baby Jumbo.
Baby Jumbo.
Baby Jumbo becomes, spoilers, guys. Baby Jumbo becomes Dumbo. I liked the movie. You know what? And I forgot that it was a CGI elephant at some points.
Like I said,
especially the mom.
It's
mother,
just,
Jumbo.
You forget. You go into that world. You like Superman. You just fly right into it.
Speaking of Disney and going into the world, we're going to go ahead and segue into other Disney films coming out. So, are you looking forward to Aladdin?
I am looking forward to Aladdin.
Are you okay with Will Smith?
I am in the minority here. I love the Will Smith genie. I've never had a problem
Did you
with
initially like
initially liked it.
Appearance with the blue?
I had no problem with it.
Had no problem with it.
I'm not like the rest of the internet.
Even though he looked like Avatar.
Hey, I like Avatar.
Oh, no.
James Cameron. Love it.
I hate Avatar.
That's fine. You can hate, not can love.
That's true. And we can still be
relationship
friends.
we got here, he hates, I love.
And we can still be friends.
It's perfect. It's good.
But no, yeah, you know what? I will see Aladdin, but I'm not looking forward to Aladdin. I'm looking forward to Lion King.
He's gonna cry when they start singing that song in Aladdin. Another world.
Brandon's singing.
Can't sing, but I can sing.
Brandon, let's not sing.
Mamma mia, mamma mia.
No, Brandon, you're what the heck, man? Dumbo was you know what? Like I said, animation was good. The human actors in it, actually the young girl in it. I'm also watching Lemony Snicket's series of unfortunate events on Netflix.
I can't speak on that.
She reminds me of that child in that like her kind of smarts. So she did a good job. The little brother, he's forgettable, man. Like if they didn't
I
have
agree.
the,
He was kind of forgettable.
it is forgettable.
I'll tell you who's not forgettable in that film.
Don't say Colin Farrell.
I was not going to go there, but I agree. He is not forgettable.
He is forgettable.
Not for me. I love his performance. I love his character. But for me, it's Danny DeVito.
Oh yeah. I would agree.
I will
Danny
say
DeVito
that.
was the best part of that film.
Yes, he was. He was a very
CGI elephant.
Yes, he was. But I will say who I did not like in this movie.
I'm gonna say Michael Keaton.
And I'm gonna say Michael Keaton.
You know what I did like about the film though? I like that this is a Tim Burton film, and this is a reunion of sorts of Michael Keaton and Danny DeVito.
That's right.
I thought about that when I seen them on screen together. I'm like, man, this is Batman too. Or Batman Returns, you know.
Michael Keaton was way over the top, and
I think he was miscast. I don't think that they should have cast Michael Keaton.
I'm glad he's in the movie, and I'm happy for him because
he needs a job.
Even if it does end up being a flop,
I don't think it is.
But
you know what the numbers is looking like right now?
45 domestic. I think 70 something overseas. It's at 119, I think.
Oh wow! Yeah, so
worldwide, but it supposedly costs 200 million to make.
So right now it hasn't really made his money back.
No, it needs to make about 500 million to break even, I would say.
You know, and then with Lion King is in July.
I don't think I have to worry about Lion King though. I think that's gonna make plenty of money.
No, it is. My point is, we'll have time to make his money back before this onslaught of films is going to be coming out. Because granted, right now you have Dumbo going against Wonder Park. You have Dumbo going against still Captain Marvel. You have it still going against Medea's funeral. You have it competing against, and then Us. You have it competing against those films. But here this is
this
April.
Weekend. Yeah,
Pet Sematary, Shazam. Shazam's going to take some of this money.
Yes.
So you're going to have those 13 and up, 12 to 13-year-olds and up going to see Shazam. So it's going to take a lot of its money. Captain Marvel is going to have less money. I would say that Captain Marvel won't make as much money again this week because it's going to be Shazam.
I don't think it should.
You don't think Captain Marvel should? I think what I'm saying, it shouldn't happen.
No, I agree with what you're saying is going to happen. I also don't think Captain Marvel should. I enjoyed that movie, by the way, and I'm not trying to take time away from Dumbo, but
we can be done with Dumbo. Final thoughts on Dumbo. I absolutely loved it. I enjoyed it. Not knowing the source material, I thought it was a great movie. And would I buy it? No. But if it's on Netflix, I will put it on my queue.
I will buy it. And I will rewatch it over and over and over again because it's magical.
Yeah. Once and done for me, but I liked it.
Multiple views for me, baby.
See, that's what we can do. Once and done or multiple views. Yeah. So all right. So leaving Dumbo, Captain Marvel. We're gonna go and touch on her.
I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was really fun. Yeah. But you got some people that are hating on it really bad, and you got some people that are overhyping it. I'm in the middle. I enjoyed it greatly. I will rewatch it over and over again.
So would you buy that one?
I would buy it because it's in
I wouldn't buy it.
In the MCU. I buy everything that's in the MCU.
Really?
Yes, I do, sir.
Even
Thor: The Dark World. Even Black Panther. My God. Hell yeah, Black Panther.
Oh, Brandon, I don't know what happened with you, man. All right. So,
Black Panther's one of the best movies they ever made.
Do you think they deserved an Academy Award for original score, soundtrack? I don't know what it won for. I don't know. Costumes. It won for which yes, it did because the costumes was fantastic in that film. The design in that film was great.
Did he get nominated for like Best Picture though?
It did. It did not win.
Oh, I know it didn't. I know it wouldn't win, but I don't think it deserved to be nominated for Best Picture.
Do you think Endgame will be nominated for Best Picture next year?
No, I don't think it will.
3 hours.
I don't think it should be.
You don't think it should be 3 hours either? I think
what they should do with that.
We're getting off point. Captain Marvel. I'm sorry. And then we can segue into this. You like Captain Marvel? You'll buy it. I thought Captain Marvel was okay. I thought I love the dynamic between Samuel Jackson and Brie Larson.
Yeah.
These characters, I like that. I thought it was okay. I thought it was a good placeholder to get into Endgame. I thought it was great. I thought it was good for that. It did what it's supposed to do.
It did what it's supposed to do. It does what they all should do, as far as quality and.
What do you think about it retconning though? What do you think about it going back in? It's essentially placing itself within it placing itself within like the MCU universe. It's like almost always been there.
I can actually see that. Actually, I don't have an issue with it. I don't have an issue with the movie itself either. It's just, people. You know how people are. They like to hype something up that that's like the best movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel's not that. It is a very entertaining movie. It's a very fun movie. It's everything you should expect to go see in the MCU.
Right.
But I don't think any of those movies should be nominated for Best Picture. Just my personal opinion. I love them. I don't think they should be nominated.
So you think that comic book movies should pretty much?
It depends. No, it depends what kind of comic book movie it is.
Are you saying it can be nominated for? It can be nominated for multiple other things, but not so much Best Picture.
Well, it depends on the source material they're telling, the story they're telling. What the MCU is telling, I don't think it should be nominated. Something like Dark Knight, Watchmen. I think it's a different story.
Oh, you mentioned Watchmen. So I was thinking Watchmen. I was like, great minds think alike. I was just thinking about Watchmen. I think Watchmen was a film that was actually pretty good. Me not knowing the source material,
I knew nothing about it, and I absolutely loved it.
But I enjoyed it. Although I think at the time, me being younger at that point, I didn't really like the downer ending of the film. Not giving away anything. If you hadn't seen it in 10, 15 years already, that's been out,
Or seen this TV show, which I have not seen the TV show.
But I didn't hate it. I thought it was good. And actually, matter of fact, recently I put it on one of my queues on whatever streaming service it's on.
I had a friend that told me, if you don't know the source material, don't go watch it. I didn't know the source material. Went and watched it and loved it.
Let me tell you.
Was not bored. Not 1 second through a 3-hour movie.
I'm going to tell you a story about the source material of the film. So, all right, I went to see Constantine with the one starring Keanu Reeves with my friends. You'll know him as Daniel Craig. Not that Daniel Craig, but another one. Craig Williams. He's a comedian. He has his own podcast. You all should check out called Kill Screen Cinema. You should absolutely check out their podcast. Also check out Bagged and Board. Great stuff there. I went with him and then a friend of ours named Jared Dobson, and I watched this film with these two Hellblazer comic fans. Me not knowing the source material, I was like, oh man, Keanu Reeves, yeah, I liked it. I liked him in Matrix. That was my fault. And so I watched this movie with these guys, and they destroyed it. And I walked out of that movie like, I absolutely hate this movie because of them. And so now, in some sense, I think it's okay to not know the source material and enjoy a film versus, if you know the source material, you just happen to know it. But I hope that you'll like the film, but maybe you won't.
I'm glad you actually brought that up.
Yeah, it's a good conversation.
Because I have a problem with people that actually know the source material and then they bash. Because here's the thing. It's an adaptation. It's not going to be like the comic book. It's not going to be like the book. It's going to be different. I just think people need to relax. They need to calm down a little bit and enjoy what they're actually seeing. You want to enjoy that comic? Go read it. You want to enjoy that book? Go read it. Okay. The book's not disappearing. I hate when people say, it ruins the book or ruins the comic book. Mm-hmm. Or if it gets remade, it ruins the original. Can you watch the original? Can you go back and watch it? Yes. It's a pet peeve of mine. It just irks me when people do that.
Well,
So,
yeah.
So Constantine, for you loved it until they said something.
I loved the idea of it, and then when I was watching it with them, I hated it because they hated it, and so it was like
I've been there.
It was like it took over, and I'm like, oh goodness, I hate this movie too now. But we're not knowing the source material to Death Note that's on Netflix. Me watching it movie, not knowing the source material, absolutely liked it. Even though people online hated that movie.
I haven't seen it.
I liked it. Not knowing the source material for a lot of Stephen King stuff, I enjoyed. Okay, so for instance, I haven't read The Shining, right? But I absolutely enjoyed Stanley Kubrick's adaptation of The Shining, even though Stephen King himself hates Stanley Kubrick's adaptation of The Shining. But guess what? Stephen King made a made-for-TV miniseries adaptation of The Shining, and I hate that. Even though it is closely related to its source material, I don't think it. I think it is not as good of a movie that Stanley Kubrick did.
Well, there's a reason for that, but I won't.
Directed it.
No, nothing against Stephen King. I love Stephen King. He's one of my
favorites. Can he do wrong in your eyes? He can do wrong.
I have read something of his I did not enjoy. I would have to really think about it. But I'll tell you. I'm going to tell you. My girlfriend loves this book. I did not.
What?
Cell. Movie's even worse than the book.
I love the book. I love the book. I love the book.
I'm not a fan of that.
I listened to the audiobook. I enjoyed it. It got me I was like deep in it. I really thought when I was listening to it, I was like, man, I can't wait to see a movie of this. Now I haven't seen the movie. I heard it's bad.
Oh, it's worse than bad.
But I thought it would have been a great idea. When listening to it, I'm like, oh, I cannot wait to see this.
I don't hate the book, but there's certain parts of the book where I'm really into it, and he'll go in another direction, and it just pulled me right out. And he does it throughout the book. I'm in, I'm out, I'm in and out. I get dizzy hitting.
That's what Stephen King does, though, in a lot of his stuff, though, I would say. I'm trying to think of an example. So I did the audio. I don't like reading the books. I prefer the audio books. I like to hear you tell me, and I can picture it that way. So I did the whole audio book of it, and absolutely loved the audio book. Although looking at the made-for-TV movie, that was, and then the actual film screen adaptation that we seen a couple of years ago. 2 years ago. Yeah. So seeing those two and then going with the source material, I can say that the movie adaptation was more closely related to his actual book. But I thought that the made-for-TV series had more of a feel of the actual book because the book takes place back in the 50s. Yeah. Now, I don't hate the fact that they updated it because I don't think kids today would be, not just kids, but adults, like we who grew up in the late 80s and 90s or whatever, wouldn't have been that open to see a film that is taking place in the 50s because we can't really relate to that.
Well, I don't say I like all time periods, but I like the 50s.
Yeah, I like the 50s too, but I'm saying that I don't think generally. Yeah.
Would. Yeah, I kind of agree. I don't think they would. Take me anywhere I'll go.
But do you think that? All right, so I assume you like it, right? I assume you like it.
I haven't read the book.
The movie, the actual movie.
The miniseries I really love the first part of that miniseries. The second part I do enjoy, where most people don't.
See, I didn't like it, dude.
I enjoyed it. I didn't like his first.
I did like part, the part that I liked in the second part was when Lord, I don't remember the lady's name, but the redhead, Annette O'Toole, I think it's her actual name. She went to the house and the tea scene with the old lady, and come to find out the old lady is Pennywise, and so. I like that. Like that part was actually scary to me, but in the book, it's even scarier. It's even scarier. The book has like this one scene, which I hope they do in the movie in this part 2, when one of the kids is walking, and they kind of did it in the miniseries where they show his father. It's the fat kid.
It was played by the late John Ritter in the miniseries. Yeah.
As an adult. Yeah, I love John Ritter, by the way. But so he was in the miniseries, he sees his dad down in the and he said, "Hey, come over here, son. This is my new house. In the book, I think that he sees him. I might be confusing because it's been a while since I listened to it, but he sees him. But then, like, he also sees like some creature, and the creature gets closer and closer, and he's frozen. Like he's walking from the library to his home, and it's snowing outside, and he's cold, and he just sees him, and it stops him in his tracks, and he can't move, and it's very and in watching that part, or listening to that part rather, I was so like. I was with him. I was like, it grabbed me, and that's just a credit to Stephen King's writing.
Yes, but, it is. He's one of the best ever, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I'm a huge fan of his films, and his writings. What I've read or heard, I enjoyed. But yeah, as far as the movie, I enjoyed it. I thought that it was good. I cannot wait for the new one, which the trailer should drop sometime this week. Because attached to Pet Sematary, I heard. So.
Oh, that makes sense. Same company.
Same king.
Same king.
Different day. No.
Different day. But my opinion of the movie is I'm in love with that movie. I love the kids. I love all the kids in that movie.
Well cast. But yeah, that goes back to my point though. Is I think that we like that movie so much because we grew up. I assume you grew up in some parts of the 80s.
Yeah.
I grew up I was born in 1980, so I experienced a lot of that. Although these kids in the movie would have been a lot older than I am. Or would they be my same age? Because, like, this movie, when did the movie take place? Was it 84, 85? Or was it later?
I want to say later, but...
Well, what movie was in the theaters on the was it Dream Master, right? Dream Warriors.
Dream Warriors, yes.
Dream Warriors was in the theaters in the movie. So was it?
Was it 84?
I think it's 84. So
I would have been 1.
I was 4 years old. So, but yeah, so they're older than I am. So, but I think that and then in this other one, it's going to take place in the 90s, right? Or it's going to take place in today's.
It's supposed to be today, but they're going to do flashbacks a little bit longer, a year or two after the events of the first one. But, I love that movie. I love everything about it.
Mm-hmm.
I get the gripes, though, because, Tim Curry's so beloved as Pennywise in the original miniseries. And Bill, who I actually think, it's...
surpassed him?
I think it's surpassed him.
I agree. I would agree with that.
I don't...
He made it his own. He made that character
He made
his own.
Yes, he did. And he was scary. He was terrifying. But he was funny as well. And Tim Curry, to me, wasn't scary.
Mm-hmm.
He was to a lot of people, but not... I wasn't
scary until they made him to be scary. Yeah. Meaning, like, with the makeup or something like that.
For me, he was kind of like Leprechaun. He was funny.
Yeah.
Throughout most of his screen time.
Yeah.
For me.
Mm-hmm. I agree. But speaking of Bill Skarsgård, I think that the scene that really made him scary to me in the movie was the beginning scene with him and Georgie. When he's talking and his eye subtly starts drifting over, and knowing that he actually did it himself, like he can make his eyes. It just and his talking and drooling is just like. It's just like so many things about the character that he brought to the character that, I love Tim Curry, but he didn't bring to the character, not to the curry. Curry's like food, but yeah.
Yeah, I remember after watching that movie, I wanted more right then and there.
You was ready for part 2 then.
I was ready for part 2, part 3.
So let me ask you that. Speaking of which,
there's no source material after the second part, but
yeah. So speaking of which, and that gets us to another segment that we're gonna do called remakes, reboots, and sequels and things like that. So, etc. That's the word. So with the source material, being gone after this part 2 that's going to be happening, can you really see them? And I know the studio probably would do it. Can you see them try to make Pennywise like a Freddy Krueger type of deal where they
I
can
can
kind
see
of
them
go.
doing that. I don't want them to do that, but I could definitely see it because it's gonna make money and they're gonna want to continue it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's no lie, no kidding aside. I mean, this is their new Freddy.
This is their new Freddy. Absolutely, I agree with that.
But what I would like for them to see him do is go further in the past.
Oh, that's deep.
Not tell his origin story. I don't want to know too much, but go back.
Dude, that's a great idea. Like, where he attacked it, like during like the big fire on Easter.
Yeah.
The Easter fire thing that happened, or the club, the black-owned club that was bombed. Firebombed.
I think they have many stories they can tell.
Oh man, they could actually literally make a series called Derry, and in every that's pretty much what Castle Rock is. But
I haven't watched it.
well, you should watch it. I'm not gonna give you any spoilers. You should watch it. It's absolutely great. If you like King, you'll love that. So, but yeah, with that being said, so with sequels, prequels, remakes, reboots, reimaginings, things like that. And you said that with It Too, you kind of hope that they stop there, and then if they do it, go back and explore it that way versus trying to go forward, because that would kind of ruin whatever happens in part 2, right?
Yeah. I don't want them to tell an origin story of him. I think no. If you know everything, there's no point.
Yeah.
But I think you can go back. That's what they're planning to do with Pet Sematary if it's successful. Mm-hmm. Tell a prequel about Judd and the first person that was buried there. Not to get on Pet Sematary right now. I know it's probably coming. Yeah. But yeah, I think you do prequels with it and tell some backstory. Not everything, but enough.
Not so much about Pennywise himself, but of the town of Derry.
Yeah, town of Derry.
And their encounters with Pennywise.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said about prequels and sequels and such, with Halloween. So with Halloween, I enjoyed the sequel. We're gonna call it that now. The sequel to Halloween, the official sequel that they're saying for Halloween. Now, I wish, this is my opinion, and I love Michael Myers, Halloween, Carpenter, all that. I hope that I would hope that they would stop with this one and be done. But I know that it made money and they will do what they did. And next thing you know, we're gonna have Thorn in it again. And next thing you know, freaking what's that dude's name that was Ant-Man? He's gonna be in it again. They're gonna just.
That's the boy from the first one, Tommy
Wallace. Tommy Wallace, yeah, he'll be in it again. It's just gonna be like I would hope that like they ended it with such a mystery. And speaking of mystery, Jordan Peele, that's how you end a movie. I'm sorry, just that where you're like, oh, but is he alive? Is he dead? I don't know, but that's great. Not but what about that person? Was they? No, but what? What? It shouldn't be that.
Yeah, it should. Now, you love the movie. I love the movie.
Yeah.
We're gonna differ on this.
Okay. We're still on Halloween, right?
We're still on Halloween. Okay. I do not want this thing to end.
Mm.
I want it to continue, but I want them to take their time developing a great story. Okay. I love that sequel. I love that story. I think it's very deep. I love Jamie's performance as Laurie Strode. It's just, I think it's her best performance I've ever seen her do. I can't think of one that's better than that.
Not True Lies?
Not even True Lies, not the original Halloween, not even H2O, which I think she was fabulous in that.
Oh yeah, absolutely, she did. I'm not gonna differ with you with that, and because she was a lady with PTSD because of this trauma that happened to her on Halloween night, 1978.
But I don't think they should rush like they always have done, just to get another story out.
Yeah,
you gotta come up with something. You gotta come up with something like it is here. You get it. You gotta have motivation. Mm-hmm. It's gotta be deep for Michael if Laurie returns. Or if it's her granddaughter, or if it's her daughter, or whatever.
I would say it'd probably be the granddaughter. Because the movie kind of ends with spoilers. The movie kind of ends with.
Who hasn't seen Halloween? I mean, really.
If you haven't seen it now, you shouldn't be listening to this. No, thank you for listening. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.
Come back.
We hope you do.
But no, I think the way it ends with the granddaughter with the knife in her hand, I would say that the story would then want to follow her.
It makes sense, but I know Lori. I mean, not Lori. I called her Lori. Jamie Lee Curtis said she'd be open to it. PTSD. She'd be open to coming back, and I'd love to see her come back. But I don't see how you top her story in a sequel.
This is
after this. I kind of want her story to be over.
Yeah. This is what someone else said to me about Halloween. Someone I work with, and I would agree with this. So he said this, that one thing that they could do, because Michael Myers isn't really married to Haddonfield. He doesn't have to stay in Haddonfield. He could absolutely explore stories somewhere else. So what if in this next one, it is following the granddaughter, but he's following then the granddaughter to wherever she goes. Maybe she's off to college. Maybe she's, something like that. And so he is following her. And then if they need to conclude Laurie's story, which maybe not concluded, but maybe Laurie sees, and this is kind of another segment me and him's going to do called rewrites. But yeah, maybe Laurie could then see on the news some stuff that has happened across the state lines or somewhere that's reminiscent of what happened there in Haddonfield. And she's like, oh, it looks like it's heading towards where my granddaughter's going to college at. So maybe Michael is now, since the girl took the last swipe at him, right? That got him down there. And at the end of it, he's looking up at them, right?
Yeah.
From the sailor. So maybe he now has fastened his eyes and gaze on the girl. And so now she is the one that he's going to try to follow and come after. And so Laurie would then become the Dr. Loomis of this new one.
Well, she was kind of Dr. Loomis in the
she was.
one.
Okay.
But
they faked us out with Loomis.
Yeah.
The new Loomis guy.
Yeah, obsessed.
I hated that guy.
I actually liked him.
Do you like the twist with him?
Yeah, I actually did like that. I was on board with that. You don't want to repeat what you did in '78, but yeah, he was obsessed, and I think that went deep with him. He had to see him in action, but I don't know. It's gonna be very difficult. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna top that sequel ever, but if you get a good enough story, good enough deep story, I'm on board for a third one. But
so. I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I just want them to do it right. I don't want them to rush it. So I would agree with you. I would agree with you.
I think that's one good thing about Jason Blum and Blumhouse. On most of their projects, they don't rush.
They take their time.
They do take
their
time.
Whether
their
wine and dine them.
Yeah.
Take them to a movie first. Buy them a nice steak dinner.
Like Happy Death Day. I'm not a fan of that. I like the sequel better than the original. But I don't look at that as a horror film at all.
No, me neither.
But I did enjoy the sequel. I hated that first movie. I could not. No, I was very disappointed. I enjoyed the sequel, but it's just not a. I did enjoy the twist at the end of.
Don't spoil it. Just in case nobody's seen it.
In case no one's seen it. I enjoyed what they were doing.
I'm here to keep Brandon from spoiling films. I'm gonna say no spoilers, Brandon. But yeah, well, I would say this. I've seen both of them. So with the first Happy Death Day, I thought it was they build it as like horror movie meets Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
And the second one they try to build it as horror movie meets Back to the Future 2. But I don't think that it was really that. I don't think that it was really, because I think it could have been. But I think that they went almost a different route with Happy Death Day to You, that immediately took me out of it. Like what they was doing at first, which I'm not trying to ruin it for people, but what they did initially with it, I was like, oh yeah, it's great. But then when they kind of get repetitive with what they did the first film, I was like, okay, I'm kind of out of this film now.
I kind of wish they would let the killer out of it. This one.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was pointless.
He has no need for it.
That took me out for a little bit, and I was.
And it resolved nothing from the first one. Like that's my point. Is that it? That's why I didn't like it as much, because if you're gonna kind of toy with it, and then can we get into spoilers? Do you mind if we get into spoilers? Hey, if you haven't seen Happy Death Day,
me for not spoiling.
if we haven't seen Happy Death Day or Happy Death Day to you, fast forward in this podcast to the next.
You probably haven't, because it only made $28 million.
So yeah, you didn't see it. So we're gonna spoil it.
It's probably not getting a third, according to Jason.
I'm not gonna really spoil it, but I just gotta talk about something. So, all right, with the roommate, from the first one, right? Tree's roommate. So at the end of the first one, you're like, oh, she's an evil person, right? And so that's what happened to her, correct? In this one, they pretty much said it's not so much her, it's the circumstances in which she was dealt. And so they changed that or altered that, right, to make it not her, but still at the end of this film, she still is dead, I believe. She still died.
She dies.
So I think that it's just, and then if Tree then goes back to her own reality, and she's still dead, it was pointless.
I did
it's like a dream.
I did like the roommate better in this one, and she had a little subplot, she had a little story there. And she was actually having an affair with that doctor as well.
And not Tree.
Yeah.
Because in the original
universe, it's not Tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
I like that, but overall, that whole subplot's pointless.
Yeah, and also another thing about the film that I brought up to someone, and I want to get your take on it. So, all right, there is two trees. There's a tree that is in Happy Death Day to you, that once the tree from Happy Death Day came into the realm of the opposite tree, right? Mm-hmm. And the opposite tree is now stuck in like a realm, right? Mm-hmm. All right. And so this tree that we know from the first one ends up falling for her boyfriend that was in her original realm, right? Yeah. But when the other tree comes back, once the other one puts right what ones went wrong, quantum leap. when the other tree goes back into her realm, and now the actual tree from the opposite realm comes back into her body, she's gonna be standing there in the hospital kissing this dude that is not her boyfriend. So she's gonna be like, "What's going on? Why am I in this hospital? And dude, why are you kissing me?"
Yeah.
But also in the same realm, that same tree ended up drunk in his bed still. Yeah. Plot holes, guys. Which one had more plot holes? Happy Death Day to you or us?
I'm gonna go us.
Really?
I don't know. I don't know if it's plot holes exactly for us. With me, I had a hard time after watching that first viewing, how I felt, and I remember seeing you and you said, "Meh."
Yeah.
Look, I wanted to love us. Okay.
You wanted to.
I was hyped for that movie.
You was Team Pill and everything.
Yeah.
You still Team Pill, right?
Yep. I'm.
Are you excited?
I will go see whatever he does next.
Which is rumored to be Candyman.
Yeah, he's not supposed to direct though. He's supposed to only produce. But I will see it because I love Candyman. I love the lore of Candyman. I hope Tony Todd has at least a cameo.
He produced another horror film, didn't he?
He's not supposed to direct. I know that.
What else did he produce? He produced something else, I think. But anyway, we don't care right now. So
I don't think us affects him long term.
Okay.
I just think it wasn't for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if it's for you, I applaud you. I mean, because all film is subjective. I mean.
Yeah. And that's the thing about this podcast too, man. Me and Brandon aren't gonna always agree on something. But you know what? I'm gonna respect his opinion. He's gonna respect my opinion, and we'll move on. like you said, film is subjective, man. It's not. We're not all supposed to like the same movies or the same whatever, same actor, same director. A lot of people, for instance, point right here. I'm not a huge Quentin Tarantino fan. I know a lot of people love him and think that he can't do no wrong, but I absolutely don't really like him. Wrong. I don't like him that much. All his movies are like they just gory for no reason.
I don't like Kill Bill, either volume.
Really, that's the one I kind of like.
I don't.
I liked Pulp Fiction. That's probably his best one. I liked Reservoir Dogs. I liked
those two. I didn't originally.
Django wasn't bad.
I haven't seen that one. I originally didn't like.
Yeah, homework assignment.
Well, you have it. I originally didn't like Pulp Fiction.
Mm-hmm.
That rape scene gets me.
Oh, I forgot about that.
How you forget about the rape scene, Aaron?
Man, I haven't seen that movie so long. You know what? I
remember I was a teenager watching that with my mother, mind you, and seeing Mr. Bing Rames get it up the rear. Wasn't a pleasant sight for me.
or pleasant experience for me.
Like,
but
and my mom was like, "What are you watching?
Yeah.
What are we watching?"
Yeah.
Change the channel. So I changed the channel. She went on to bed. I flipped it back. Bruce Willis was killing my guy John Travolta. It made me cry.
Was From Dusk to Dawn? Was that Rodriguez?
He produced it. He produced.
Robert Rodriguez film.
Directed it. Quentin produced. Rodriguez directed.
Yeah.
I love that film. It's probably my second favorite vampire flick ever.
What's your first?
First?
Lost Boys. Hey! Yes! Lost Boys. I would differ on the second though. My second favorite. We don't have to go. This is for the later podcast. We're just doing it on vampires.
We should be called Totally Random.
Yeah, Totally Random. Yeah, that's a good name. But we're gonna rename this Totally Random, the Totally Random Movie Podcast. I liked. My favorite one is Lost Boys. Second would be 40 Days a Night. 40 Nights. 40
30 days?
30 days. It's 40.
Is it 40?
40 days.
It's been a while since I've seen it.
40 nights. 40 nights. Man, how am I say it's my favorite and I don't remember the name of it?
I've only seen it once, so
Josh Hartnett.
Don't judge me.
Yeah, but no, From Dusk to Dawn is not bad. But yeah, anyway.
From Dusk to Dawn's not a great movie. It's just fun. I think it's just pure fun.
Yeah.
I love movies that are fun.
Yeah.
Judge me all you want, people. Judge me.
Hey, with that, it's gonna be another segment. We're gonna be instead of calling it what I was gonna call it is at me or whatever. I'm gonna say judge me. Judge me. I liked it. Judge me, but because I like Biodome.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
I like Biodome. Man.
I haven't seen a lot of Pauly Shore.
I like Pauly Shore films, but what we're gonna talk about next?
We haven't really went down the list. But
well, we knocked out at least Dumbo and Us.
We did the first two that was on the list. That's for sure.
We kind of glossed over Pet Sematary, so we can go ahead and hit that up.
You want to hit that? You sure you want to hit that right now?
Yeah, let's briefly. So
in your opinion, what do you think? Do you think Pet Sematary has hype?
Absolutely. Now I think that they have hyped it, but you know what? The hype that they're doing, I hate that they're doing it. All right, this is the hype that they're doing, and they did it for us, and they did it for
as long as they don't call it the best movie,
and they did it for Hereditary, which I love Hereditary. So, but
I haven't seen it.
You should watch it. Homework assignment.
I've always been told I should watch Hereditary.
But this is what they're doing for the film. They're saying the scariest movie of all time, or
what they said about us. That movie's scary.
Or a movie so scary you better not watch it alone. You know, they're saying things like that, which I kind of wish that they wouldn't do that.
I'll tell you one thing they are saying that I do love that they're saying.
What?
One of his best adaptations.
Yeah. Well, Gerald's Game was also one of his best adaptations.
You read that book or heard?
I've seen the movie.
You've seen the book? Oh my God.
Well, have you seen the movie?
I've seen the movie.
So what'd you think about
it? I enjoy the movie. I think it's a really good adaptation.
Was it better than the book, or was the book better than the movie?
You know, it's hard to say if the book is good. Like, it hits people differently. It hit me emotionally.
Well, that movie hit me emotionally.
Yeah,
I felt bad. At the end of that movie, I felt like I was on the bed, man, like chained up right with her. I felt that bad.
But the scene that always got me, it didn't really go in too much detail in the movie, but in the book you feel it, you see it, and you can't unsee it, and it's the father and the daughter situation.
Oh, they actually showed it.
Did they?
Well, they actually talked about it in the book.
They talked about it in the movie.
They in more detail. You see.
But in the book,
Steven, what are you doing? Steven, you did that in it. Man, you got issues. Steven, if something come out, I like you, brother. If something comes out about you and some kids, Steven, I'm saying, too many coincidences. It's like R. Kelly. All right, we ain't gonna go there.
Please don't put Stephen King in the same sentence as R. Kelly. But reading that,
Trapped in a haunted closet.
You don't just read it. He goes in details of what's happening, and it just makes you sick to your stomach. I felt like throwing up. It's a great read. Mm-hmm. It's slow. The probably first 10 chapters, it builds and builds and builds until that final ending, and it just makes it all worth it. I think the movie does a good job of doing that too. Build and build and build until you find out what it is. It's coming in at night with her. I love the book.
No spoilers for this, because I do think that if you have Netflix, you should absolutely put it on your queue to watch Drill's Game. You can also get the audiobook at just different audio outlets.
I think it's a surprising hit.
Or the actual tangible book. But yeah.
And a surprising hit for a Stephen King adaptation. It's it's very good. Now, I haven't seen 1922.
No,
I haven't read the short story either.
Yeah. So this is one thing that I will say that they said this recently. So they said that that Stephen King is on a climb right now when it comes to his source material, right? Because you had it, and I say it kind of sparked it, and
no doubt.
And then you had Gerald's Game, which is excellent. 1922, I looked at a little bit of it, but I know that the reviews wasn't as good. What I seen of it, it was very atmospheric, but what I seen, I didn't finish it. Castle Rock was great. It's a great series, man. You should absolutely watch it on Hulu.
Not to interrupt you on that, but if you haven't seen it, and if you haven't seen it, you're one of the few. I was in the few too. Till recently, Stranger Things is like Stephen King and Steven Spielberg had a baby.
Over John Carpenter was in the mix. I would say John Carpenter would be in the mix.
John Carpenter could be the grandfather, but
I would say that
it's in their world. It's if you haven't seen it, go see it, please.
Yeah. This is also because I want to get to Stranger Things because which later
I was actually gonna put that on there and I forgot.
We'll have another podcast about Stranger Things. But
we need to have a podcast, an episode just about Stranger Things.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna even touch on Stranger Things.
We shouldn't even touch on it. Go watch it.
Go watch it. Go watch season 1, season 2. Watch the trailer for the season trailer. God. And watch the trailer for season 3, and then keep coming back to our podcast.
You're a woman. You love Stranger Things. Oh, you're melting right now. Let me tell you. You're having orgasms.
Hey, this is for kids, man. We all gonna have everybody.
If you're a kid right now watching this, turn it off.
Turn it off. Turn it off. No,
it will give you orgasms.
Okay.
If you're a woman.
So Brandon is gonna stay on this topic. All right. So
you never know what's gonna happen.
We're gonna talk about what were we talking about, Brandon, again?
Pet Sematary.
Pet Sematary.
And orgasms.
Speaking of orgasms, Pet Sematary.
I am. Like, you think it's got hype. I wasn't so sure if it actually had hype or if I'm so hyped for it.
Yeah, you know what I hated, though? Which, I don't know how I feel. And I want to know your thoughts on it. So,
I'll be glad to tell you my thoughts on Pet Sematary.
You will. So, all right. Now, have you read the source material?
I have not read it, but I know
I haven't read the source material either. All right. So,
I do know it.
All right. But, so, in the original film, spoilers, if you
I
haven't
do
seen the
know
original
about
film.
that. I've seen that. Like
in the original film, Gage
is the one that does.
He's
the one that does in the book.
All right. So
spoilers.
In this, they changed, and because you've seen it on the trailer, they suggest that it's the daughter.
It's Ellie.
Bing.
It's Ellie.
Yeah, Ellie. Yeah, that she is the one that is hit by the semi, right?
Yeah.
And then, but what I hated about the trailer is that, and I hated this about Us trailer too, is that it gives away too much. I wish that they didn't reveal that. I wish that, and it took me out immediately because I was so excited for it. As soon as I knew that was what happened, I hated it. And I think it's a studio saying, "Hey, put more in it, get people enticed." But I wish that they hadn't. I don't mind that is what's going to happen in the movie. I just wish the trailer
there are people
did not.
that do mind that's happening in the
I don't
movie.
mind it. I just wish, because if I had not known about it, it would have been a great twist, and I would have been like, "Oh my gosh!"
Like, I don't consider myself like a diehard like Stephen King fan. I think I'm up there, but I'm not like diehard. I'm not like over the top like Star Wars. That
Yeah.
I have friends that are,
Yeah.
and God bless them.
Yeah.
Me, if anyone knows me, they know that Meg that's what I'm a diehard fan of. And we can get on that.
The Shark movie,
the book series.
Oh, I was about to say that Shark movie is horrible.
I love the book. I love the movie too.
No,
for different reasons.
Different podcast episode. We're gonna talk about that.
But Pet Sematary, like I'm in this Stephen King group where they're bashing it. They're bashing about Ellie, that she's the one that's gonna die instead of Gage. But here's the thing: it's a reimagining of the original movie and the book. You already saw Gage die. If they do that, you're just seeing it again. They're not changing anything.
That's what I'm saying, man.
But I don't like that
if you're mad about it. If you're mad about it, then that's dumb.
Yeah.
I'm mad about it because they showed it.
Yeah.
I wish there was a surprise. I hate that they showed it. And speaking of showing too much, in the Us trailer, when they showed the little when they showed Adelie get choked by her tethered, right? That like last little jump thing.
Not to get back on that.
I hated that because to me they shouldn't have showed that, and that way it would have been more of a mystery.
But did you know the reason she can't talk as well is because she was choked as a kid? I think that's stupid. I really do. I
would say that maybe she crushed her learning.
But she's a little kid too. She's not like she's not like she's got superpowers or anything. She's human, as she said. I'm an American. But I just found it stupid, that part. That she couldn't talk to him because she was choked as a kid.
Well, let's finish the Pet Sematary before we jump into that again. But my first thought, I agree with it. I agree with that. I did like that she made it a different character. I think that Red had to be a little dramatically different than Adelie. I wasn't in love with the voice thing, the croaky thing, but
But I'm not like some of those people that are, some of these groups are bashing it for the voice. I'm not. I don't have anything against the voice. I just think it was a dumb reason.
Yeah. But
for Pet Sematary,
I'm excited about it now.
We could also do very.
We might change the name of this podcast, the Random Movie Show podcast or something like that. Random topics. I don't know, random discussion.
Pet Sematary, I am okay. My phone keeps going off for some reason, but Pet Sematary, I'm super stoked for it. It's not my top movie of the year, but it's in my top 3. And we still on?
Yeah, we still on.
We still on?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But I can't wait for. I do agree with you about the showing too much. They did show too much.
I think less is more.
But then again, I'm like, I know what's gonna happen, so it doesn't. I'm expecting it.
Doesn't bother you.
It doesn't bother me.
Okay. Now that I know that it happens, it don't bother me. I just hate that I know that it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. But I am excited about it.
As far as
between Shazam and Pet Sematary, I'm gonna watch Pet Sematary first.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch Pet Sematary.
I watch when I can.
I think we're gonna go see it this weekend, probably. But we're seeing Pet Sematary first. I mean, that's top priority.
Yeah. So excited for it.
Oh,
it's
beyond excited.
And next week we'll actually do our review of Pet Sematary and tell you what we thought. It'll be a spoiler review for it. But yeah. So any more topics you want to talk? Well, I guess before we dive into anything else, all right. So this podcast, we should do this at the beginning, but hey, this podcast
totally random.
Yeah, totally random podcast. But yeah, we're gonna be talking about, as you can tell, different things, different films, different shows, different, not just horror. It's not going to be limited to horror films.
We may even discuss Titanic for all you ladies out there.
Why do you think the ladies like Titanic? It's because
they love Leo.
Leonardo.
No, I mean sensitive guys like it too, like me. I like Titanic.
What about the?
I love the story. I love James Cameron though. I love pretty much everything he does.
What if they did like a mixture between Titanic and what's that one where you like Inception? That's it. What if they did
Inception?
Yeah. What if Titanic was just a dream? Never mind. I'm just playing.
I've seen it movie once, and it wasn't. I fell asleep, I think.
Yeah. With Titanic or Inception?
Inception. What? I need to rewatch.
Yeah. Well, right now, I think that the show we're gonna be having like different activities. Brandon's gonna list off a few of them, and then I'll talk about a few of them that we're gonna do as well. Brandon, why don't you let the world know what we're going to be doing sometimes?
Well, we're going to do Does It Hold Up?
Does it hold up? Explain that.
Well, that's basically any movie from the past, whether it's 100 years old, if there was a movie there. Yeah. 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, whatever.
Comedies, whatever genres, don't really matter. Does it hold up?
I would say 10 years and older.
Yeah, that's good. That's fair, yeah. Nothing recent, so yeah. 10 years older. So
does it hold up?
We're going to look at does it hold up as far as like the effects? Does it hold up as far as like the acting? Does it hold up with like, for instance, this is 80s PG-13 is today's R. Would you say that? 80s PG-13 is probably today's R. So if you look at like have you seen One of the Guys? That movie had boobs in it, and it's PG-13. Like literally has. Women.
I don't think I've seen that. I did see. I don't know if it was a remake. It was just like it. Same story. It was in the 90s. The one you're talking about is in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah. It's PG-13 and it had boobs. Monster Squad is like what, G or PG or PG-13, and it has F-bombs in it.
Yeah, it was different time.
It has.
We missed those days.
Yeah, it has different things that wouldn't be good today, right? So we'll see if it holds up. What else do we have?
I put down like classic movies we love, like monster movies. Like when I say monster movies, I mean we could talk about the originals, the Universal classic monsters. But for me, it was more like Godzilla, King Kong, those type of monsters, or even like Aliens, Predator. Just classic monster movies that we enjoyed.
Right.
To discuss them, just to go back on it. Kind of, I guess it could go with Does It Hold Up?
Yeah. I guess it could. Yeah, a subgenre within Does It Hold Up monster movies. So
what movies we're looking forward to? We're going to discuss those.
Yeah. Coming soon. We should call it coming soon.
Yeah. And we should do upcoming movie trailer reviews.
Yeah.
Trailers they hit, we should watch it and review it.
We're going to call that trailer takedown.
Trailer takedown.
And then if it's for older movies, because we're going to watch some old trailers as well, we're going to do retro trailer takedown. So if it's going to be movies that's already been out on VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, whatever, we'll do some retro movie trailers.
The last one I had was Fantasy Movie Warfare.
All right, explain that.
Where it's basically, it's like a little fantasy game we're going to do. We're going to take a movie, a classic movie. We're going to take an actor out or certain scenes, certain plot of that movie out, put it in something we would think would either be really bad or interesting.
Okay. I like it.
Like, say it was The Goonies. Take out Chunk. Does that movie hold up without Chunk?
No, it doesn't. Chunk is the glue to that movie. But does it hold up? But does it hold up without Sloth?
It really doesn't. I don't think so.
I think everybody that's in that movie needs to be there except for the nerdy girl.
The one that's going after
the one that with the blonde hair. Yeah, Martha Plimpton.
Okay. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
She was unnecessary.
Yeah, she was kind of unnecessary.
Everybody else is necessary. You need Data. Data needed to be there. Uh, uh, Josh Brolin needed to be there. Brad, you need to be there.
You can't have it without Mikey.
You need Mikey. Math.
Mouth.
You need math, man. Corey Feldman could do no wrong in the 80s. But yeah.
Corey.
Poor down. But yeah, no, I like that idea. And then so ideas I got is retro trailer takedown to kind of couple with his trailer takedown, and then a segment called Polished Turds where we're gonna talk about Academy Award winning films and if we think they're good or not, which we're gonna probably not think that they're good.
We may shock you though.
Yep. And then we're gonna talk about I renamed it right now. Instead of calling it I Hated It, but we're going to call it Judge Me. So it's going to be about movies that I like, that Brandon doesn't like, or nobody else likes. Judge me. I'm going to tell you the movie that I like. Judge me.
I think that's a winner.
Yeah. Now Brandon ain't gonna be mean, and I'm not gonna be mean with Brandon. We're not gonna.
If I'm mean, I'll be entertaining about
it. Yeah, we're gonna be mean about my taste in film, and not so much my taste in clothing or stuff like that. Or I'm not gonna say well, Brandon or you blah blah blah. I'm not gonna make personal attacks. So no, that's not what we're doing. And then another segment, we already mentioned it, rewrites. Like, for instance, this is an example, and this works for this episode only. If I was to rewrite Us, tell me if you think that it would make it a better movie. If I was to rewrite Us, I would have taken out the whole scene with the girl getting grabbed by the throat, right? And then, instead, I would have had her see her doppelganger, and then cut to the next scene where she runs, and then next scene is she's coming back at the pair towards the parents, and parents hug her like, "Oh my God, where were you at?" Da da da, and you don't know. But then later on in the film, we reveal that when she was running, the doppelganger grabbed her, so she ran back into like a mirror or something. Thought she's getting out, and the doppelganger grabbed her, and then the little girl that you see running back to the pier was actually the doppelganger the whole time.
So you don't have them switching?
No, I have them switching, but the switch would have happened at, instead of when you have the scene where she gets she sees the doppelganger. Next thing you see is she starts running, right? Mm-hmm. And then hard cut. Next thing you see is her coming up the pier, like towards her parents. Like her dad's the mom's I was worried sick about you, and grabs her and holds her. And she seems traumatized, right, from what she sees, and she don't talk. So everything else is the same. But whenever at the end of the movie, when she's driving away, and it reveals what happened is when she ran, and we see her run, that scene is more extended. And so what you see is the doppelganger grabs her somewhere and takes her over, changes places with her. So the little girl you see leaving the fun house and running to the pier is actually a doppelganger.
It probably would make it better for me, just me alone. Mm-hmm. I don't know. That movie, it's being in places I didn't want to be.
Can you think of a movie that a scene real quick that you could rewrite that would make the movie better?
Let's see. Since we're on Us.
yeah. Let me hear your rewrites.
Okay, I wouldn't have had them switch. I wouldn't have done that. I don't think you need a twist for this particular idea that he had for doppelganger, the clones, whatever.
The clones, the Star Wars.
I've heard people say, let's stop calling them that. Let's just call them the clones. But
Tether is what their official name is.
It is what their official name is. I would have had that little girl grow up wanting to take her life instead of them switching right then. Plotting this, as she did plot to get her old life back. Mm-hmm. Part I didn't like about it though is that it was everybody. If it would just been that particular family, they just focused on that.
Isolated.
Yeah, I think I would have enjoyed it a lot more.
Yeah, that movie is, and this is the last time we're going to talk about it. That movie is a movie that, would you agree that if you enjoyed it, you have to take your brain out and put it to the side to really enjoy that film.
That's weird that you put it that way, considering it's so deep.
Yeah.
That you gotta take your brain
But
out.
but maybe you gotta turn off that part of your brain that says plot hole in order to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because plot holes, where'd they get out scissors from? Plot holes, where'd they get the scissors from? See, if I was to rewrite it, I would have said that the whole outfits that they had all along was the red jumpsuits that they were all in the whole time that they've been down there. Then that simply solves that. I don't know about the scissors thing. I think the scissors thing was a metaphor, but it's unnecessary.
It was a metaphor.
It is unnecessary to have
But
scissors.
I think you're right.
To cut the tethers.
Yeah. I don't think it was necessary. But I think he tried too hard.
Yep.
And I've heard people online say this, that he's trying to become the next M. Night Shyamalan with his twist.
Oh, please don't.
And they think well, it's not everybody. I think it's maybe half and half.
I'm not saying anything negative about M. Night Shyamalan, because he's on a surge now. He's on a resurgence too, because
But even his last movie,
like The Visit. I enjoyed The Visit. I enjoyed Split. I really enjoyed Split. I enjoyed. I haven't seen Glass, so I hadn't seen it.
I loved it. It's mixed.
I liked Signs. I thought Signs was good.
Signs is my
I liked Unbreakable. I liked Sixth Sense. So I didn't like Lady in the Water, and I did not like The Village. I liked The Village up until a point. I hated the plot of it, the twist at the end of The Village.
Yeah, it was like the friend I went with yesterday. He liked Us until the twist. He doesn't know how he feels. I'm getting that's the feeling with most people. They don't really know how they feel about it. I think most people would say, unless you're just really up Jordan Peele's. But yeah. I think most people would say it's different. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it's original, because I have seen movies like this before. What was her name? Drew Barrymore did one in the 90s, similar to Us.
Really?
Yeah, about her doppelganger.
Really? I've never seen that one. No.
I think it's actually called.
When I think of Drew Barrymore in the 90s, I think of Never Been Kissed. I'm sorry. That's the first thought that comes to my mind.
But she did it sometime in the 90s. I remember watching it over my
Barrymore. Why am I thinking of single white female? It's not. She's not even in it.
No, Jennifer Jason Leigh, I believe.
Look at you, big bad Brad. That was a quote from Pulp Fiction.
I know.
But yeah, man.
I just think.
Final thoughts on it. Yeah, go ahead. And then we're dead.
Overall, I know some people think it's a masterpiece. I'm not one.
If that's your opinion, he's okay with it.
I'm okay with if you think it's a masterpiece. Mm-hmm. All film is subjective. But I know certain people that went and seen it, myself included, just, thought it was all right. And that's how I felt the first viewing.
Right.
The second viewing, it got worse for me. I was actually more into it. I didn't go to the bathroom this time, so that's a plus.
Yeah, that's a plus.
But I did think it was very intense when it should be. It was a little slow at the beginning, but
let me ask you this real quick. I promise viewers and listeners, we'll try to remove ourselves from us. But what did you think about the murder of the Tyler family? The friends, the white family.
The white family.
Yeah, like them. Like, I like the scene when they got murdered on the outside of the house.
See, here's my problem with that. That don't make sense from what we saw before that. That family just didn't come in and just kill them. They wanted to talk and handcuff her. I know she had a point to prove.
It's called plot.
It is a plot, but
it's called exposition.
But
exposition overhaul.
That's
another problem with the movie. It has a lot of exposition. But yeah.
But no one else is doing that. All these other families, they just going in and killing.
They just going to kill them. They are getting their hands across America.
See, I would have preferred if they would have just came in and tried to kill them, not set them down.
And talk to them.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I think maybe it's them playing with the food, and and we know in movies, watching films, being fans, lovers of movies and cinema, we know that the one thing you don't do is talk too much when you're about to kill someone. Mm-hmm. And you'll say, well, yeah, since I have you here, I was gonna do this and try to take over the world, but hey, you're the last spot.
I won't say they overdid it. They just.
I think.
But you just watching everyone else.
They did because in the compound or whatever, in the basement, underneath the funhouse. That's it. I think that Red gave way too much exposition on.
I didn't like that scene at all.
And I did like the scene of the mirroring of what happens on above and what happens beneath. But that's the thing. That's the thing that bothers me, and I'm gonna talk about this plot hole. So if you're tethered, if you have your tether, right, and you're in Bowling Green, Kentucky right now, so when you go back to Russellville, does your tether, you're driving, so does your tether, like, walk underneath the underground tunnel, like, into, like, that general area? Or if there's a wall there, will it just be like a player in a video game and won't move past that wall? Like, what happens to your tether?
Aaron's overthinking this.
Yeah, that's why you gotta turn your plot hole brain off in order to really like it. And I liked it, but
you liked it for what it was.
I liked it.
It made you think.
It made me think, and I liked that.
That's a plus.
But I hadn't to do homework behind it. But I liked that I had to think. But once I did the homework, I liked it more.
It's not gonna be like
you watched it and hated it more.
I did hate it more the second time. I think when I rewatched that last scene with her, you find out she's really the girl from the beginning, and this one's the tethered.
Yep.
And the tethered's getting beat down. The whole time they're just knocking these, the real ones above ground. They're beating them down, and now they can't. She can't beat her down. Where did that come from?
Hey, let me ask you this. So, real quick, because you've seen it again, I couldn't really tell. At the end when she's choking her, right? But before she chokes her, the Red starts whistling.
She tries to whistle, yes.
Yeah. Does Adelie her lips start to mimic her? Is she starting to tether again? And then to cut it off, she chokes her, kills her.
I didn't see that.
I couldn't tell.
But,
viewers, listeners, let us know in the comments if that happened. But I assume
it's possible. I didn't see that, but it is possible. She was changing, though, obviously. Mm-hmm. But I will say one thing you did say.
Yeah.
I can see your point where you think the son, Jason, is one. They got switched. I can see your point. I don't think that's what happened.
I don't think so now, but yeah.
But
I thought it was a great...
watching it, and I was like, it's possible.
It's possible.
Very
possible.
possible.
It's not plausible, but it's possible.
But,
yeah. Well...
The problem, though, is he when he does talk, he talks normal.
Yeah.
No struggle.
That's true. But then the sister says he has problems talking, communicating, or whatever. Like Mom says she has.
The reason it is possible is because the boy's burnt. But the other one's not, How did that happen? How did that happen? They do the same thing every single day, every single second.
See, some people it needs to be a part two. No, it needs to be done. But and I can't wait to see what he does next. Hopefully not overdid it.
It's not a horrible movie. I know I'm probably making it sound like I hated it.
It sounds like you did.
But I didn't hate it. I just
didn't love it.
I definitely didn't love it. I just
meh. It was okay.
I think it's a good thinking movie.
Yeah.
It's not a good horror film.
I agree. It's not a horror film.
Well, yeah, that's what it's labeled as. It's the best horror film ever made.
It's not a horror film. Hereditary is a horror film.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, you gotta watch it. It is a horror film, and we'll talk about that next time you see that. But all right, and then the last part is another thing that I was gonna do is best of. So that kind of mirrors something that you had. So I was thinking of best of comedies of the 80s, best of horrors of the 80s, best of
That's actually
this
what
genre.
I was going for with the monster thing.
So
it didn't have to be monster movies. It could have been whatever.
So we'll just call it best of.
It was like classic movies we love.
You like it? Best of?
Best of, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we call it, best of. All right, so our best of series. Or is there anything else you want to say or discuss before we bring this podcast to an end?
I think it's only fitting. It's April Fools, and Cobra Kai season 2 is starting.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we can talk about that. We're already at an hour and 34 minutes.
We went.
That's fine. I don't care.
What was your feelings of season 1?
I loved it. I thought that I don't want to get into spoilers because if you need to watch this on YouTube, YouTube Red, you should absolutely do it. I think that it was a great sequel series to Karate Kid. Even though it doesn't ignore the other Karate Kid films.
Oh, well, there's more people coming in.
Yeah, and so
from 2 and 3.
I loved it. I loved the juxtaposition of between. I love that now Johnny is not this straight butthole character that you thought of when you seen the film, and I love that
he's flawed.
Yeah, he's flawed, but he's a flawed hero. You know, I say that he's the anti-hero essentially, and Ralph Macchio is pure clean cut. What? Did I say Ralph Macchio? Yeah, I say that right. No, he's not this clean cut character.
See, I never thought he was.
You never thought?
I never looked at him. I thought Miyagi helped him so much. Because there's times Daniel he's gonna go off the wrong end. You just know he's gonna go off. And Mr. Miyagi calmed him.
Yeah, I like
he misses him so much.
Yeah.
If you see it, season 1, you oh man,
it's great. Yes.
Here's a spoiler.
Do you want to spoil it?
But I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm just gonna talk about one particular scene.
Yeah,
I think it's episode 4 or 5.
Oh, before you do that, it's not a spoiler. Listen, guys, listen. Pat Morita, yeah, he passed away. I want to say sometimes within the 2000s.
Late 2000s.
Late 2000s. He's missed. He was a great character actor. We know him mainly as being Mr. Miyagi, but he is also in Happy Days. He was just like, he was lovable, right?
Was.
And he's gone. So, all right, that's the exposition. Go ahead.
The graveyard scene when Daniel goes there. I mean, I don't know about you. I don't know about anyone else. But me, I had to pause it because I lost it.
That's right.
Tears. I mean, we're just coming down.
Niagara Falls, Charlie.
Yes, it but you gotta understand, the Karate Kid for me it's up there with Rocky for me, and Jaws.
Karate Kid actually has been it has been labeled. If you like Rocky, you'll love Karate Kid. Karate Kid and Rocky has very similar stories in the sense of the underdog coming on top. Even though Rocky, the underdog, doesn't win the match, but the underdog still is on top because he did it. He lasted. He went the distance. That's why Rocky. We're gonna do a podcast episode just on Rocky.
Oh boy.
Is it just on Rocky or on the whole series, including Creed?
We can do everything. We can do one with Rocky. We can do one with everything.
We can do it all.
I am good with that.
The Rockyverse. The
Rockyverse.
Yeah. So we'll do that. But yeah, if Rocky and Karate Kid is very similar. Karate Kid for me was great. You know, it's funny because when I seen what's that one show, the movie that Ralph Macchio was in. Outsiders. When I seen that, I was like, "Hey, what is Danielson doing in the Outsiders?"
Johnny plays Johnny.
And then like, if you don't see this, listen, he dies in Outsiders. Okay, you read it in school, your school's failing you.
But
so
he's a hero as he's dying.
Yeah, he dies heroic death.
Yes.
But back to Cobra Kai, I think it does a great job following Johnny. I love that. His son, I just love it.
I was almost getting upset in a few episodes in because it just seemed to be all about Johnny. Yeah. but then,
without spoilers, what did you think about the
ending?
Where it ended, and have you seen the preview?
Oh, yeah.
For the next one?
Of course.
Yeah. What do you think about where it's going?
There's many places it can go, but I'll get on the ending first. I love,
without spoiling the ending. What you think about the ending?
I love the ending. It took me back to 1984. I believe is when the first one was made. I believe. I could be mistaken, but I want to say it was 1984.
Yeah. Oh, man. We're going to spoil this whenever we talk about... All right, so what we're going to do is whenever Cobra Kai Season 2 actually hit YouTube...
I would probably rewatch the first season before watch that, but...
We're going to probably both watch the
when
first season and then lead into Season 2 and then discuss it that next podcast.
I thought the ending, though, was... It's kind of hard to say without spoiling how it ended, but I'm not going to. I thought it if you're a fan, it just made you remember the 1984 version.
Absolutely.
Minus something that happened. But,
yeah.
But, Daniel coming back to, be there for him in that last match, he became Mr. Miyagi in that moment right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And nothing but joy.
Nothing but joy for me.
That last scene. But the very last scene, oh man, that was amazing.
Yep.
See the Miyagi, his home again, the dojo.
Yeah, we need it's called Bonsai.
Bonsai, yeah. It's
Oh, we're gonna talk about this real quick. So you brought up Cobra Kai and Karate Kid. I'm gonna say this. Listen to me, fans of our channel. I absolutely hated the Jaden Pinkett Smith version of Karate Kid. Listen, karate is a Japanese martial art. Don't take karate to China and call it, man, it's not even karate, because they're doing kung fu. Call it Kung Fu Kid or something. Don't make that Karate Kid.
I will say, though, I don't like the movie.
Okay, great.
I wanted to walk out. I will say Jackie Chan was good in it.
Jackie Chan was good in it. But don't call it Karate Kid. Call it something else.
It wasn't karate.
Call it Kung Fu Kid. Call it...
I don't even call him by his name. It's Will Smith's kid.
Listen, that kid...
He was awful.
That kid... I've yet to see him in it. Maybe... What's that one? I don't know. I don't like that kid.
I didn't like him in After Earth when he played Will's son.
He played Will's son in the other movie where Will Smith was homeless.
No, he did. That was him?
Yeah.
Oh, I like him in that. I like that movie.
Because he didn't have to do anything. He just cried.
Will Smith.
Hungry.
So all the Will Smith haters, watch that movie. All the people say he can't act.
Will can act. 7 Pounds is a great movie.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Man, so Will Smith can act. I'm not a hater of Will Smith. I love Will Smith.
But there's a lot of people that are hating him.
I think that he's going to make a good genie because he's comedic enough to make a good genie.
I think he's going to make his own while paying respect to Robin.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's what I personally believe.
All right, so this is our podcast, guys. But yeah, we're gonna do more reviews, episodes, discussions, games, maybe. Talk about different things.
You did ask about Cobra Kai. What I think is gonna happen in season 2.
Yeah.
Without spoiling what's gonna happen, I do look forward to Daniel's daughter in the tournament next season.
Oh heck yeah! Heck yeah!
If they don't run with that, I don't see how you don't run with that.
Mm-hmm.
They
did a great job with the first one. So, yeah, I don't see them. You got to do a lot to mess this up.
It's not just Johnny and Daniel, though, that you love. You love the kids.
You love the kids. You love...
It really does bring back so many memories.
Whenever we talk about Karate Kid verse, we're going to call it Karate Kid verse. We'll talk about Cobra Kai as well, and we're going to go into spoilers on everything, because you're going to have to do it justice. You got to talk about spoilers.
Now, did you not like the sequels to Karate Kid?
All right, so I like the first one. The second one, they went to Japan, and then Okinawa, right? They went to Okinawa. The third one was when Daniel get picked on. He joins that long-haired dude, right?
Terry Silver.
Yeah, and then it was okay, but I didn't really like the one with Hilary Swank.
Oh, I don't even count that.
You don't even count that?
Johnny, William Zabka, I think it's his last name, says that the first 3 are in canon. If that tells you anything, that's that 4th one.
Yeah, and then of course I already told you I hated the Smith kid.
I will say the remake Karate Kid makes the next Karate Kid look good. Look like an Oscar winner, if you ask me.
Yeah. At least
it's not a good movie.
Emmy. Which one? The next Karate. Oh, so you're saying the one with Hilary Swank? You actually literally meant the next Karate Kid, as in the title of that movie. Okay, I was like, what are you doing? But no, yeah, you're right. It does. Hey, and at least, and then that's the last one we see Mr. Miyagi in. So I wish that he would end it with. You know what? Every time when I was watching that movie, I was hoping that at the end, like Daniel pops up. I'm like, well, at least have Daniel come in and say something.
It's funny that you say that because he holds that like it's like gold to him. I mean, he doesn't want to ruin what he's done previously. He's went into details like on podcasts, on certain shows. He's been asked to. He was asked to come back in that. He was asked to make a cameo in the remake. He said, "Will, you go do your thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna enjoy here." That remake is a piece of. I ain't gonna say what he said, but it's my feelings exactly.
Our podcast is not gonna really dive into we're not gonna cuss and things like that because we're, I want kids to be able to watch this and not have to hear foul language, things like that. Even though Brandon did talk about happens to a human body whenever it encounters another human body, but yeah, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, hey, so this is episode 1 of our podcast, currently called A&B Movie Show podcast. We're probably gonna call it Totally Random Movie Podcast. I'm gonna see if there's anything on YouTube or Facebook with that. Google.
Whatever we call it, though, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be
great. Yeah.
It's gonna be very entertaining. I think this episode's been very entertaining.
I think it's been fun. I had fun. Any final thoughts you want to tell people?
Go out and this weekend and go see Pet Sematary. Yeah. Help support horror films. Also go see Shazam. DC needs all the help they can get.
they need your help and your money.
Aquaman was great.
We're talking about this, all right? Because I assume by next episode you've probably seen Shazam. Maybe at that point, maybe.
Probably see it this weekend.
I'm gonna try my best to see it this weekend.
Unless something happens.
Unless something happens. But yeah. But all right, I like to talk about in a future episode the failure that is DC, the DC universe, and where they went wrong.
Well, I don't hate the DC, whatever it's called these days.
I hate it. Listen, I hated Man of Steel.
I actually love that movie.
I hated it. You know why I hated it?
Go ahead, tell me.
Simple reason. And I know where...
This could be the source material thing coming up.
All right, so, no.
I don't really know much about Superman. This
is why I hated it. So I hated it because of... I think when you have Clark Kent and you have Superman, I think they have to be distinctive from one another. And so when Henry Cavill is his name? When he was Clark Kent, I felt like he was just Superman as Clark Kent. There's no difference between him and... He was more like Smallville Clark versus...
he was also adapting,
Metropolis Clark.
I don't think he felt comfortable.
But I think Brandon Roth played a better Superman than he did. Hey, for the episode called Judge Me. I like Superman Returns. Judge me.
I don't.
Judge me. Come at me.
I'm not gonna come at you, but
not on this episode, but on that episode.
I don't. I didn't. I did enjoy Man of Steel. I thought it was a very fun film.
I'll come at you on that, but yeah.
You can.
Now, let me ask you this real quick. All right. I know we're borderline. I don't know. We're borderline up in the almost 2-hour mark, and we're not going to try to make it that. But how do you feel? Spoilers. If you haven't seen Man of Steel, man, why did you watch any of the other DC movies? All right. But how do you feel about Superman having to necessarily kill Zod?
I thought it was a very deep, emotional.
Would you have written it the same way? Would you have written it? Would you have written him to kill him?
I wouldn't have written him to kill, but I didn't hate it. I thought it was necessary in that situation. Mm-hmm. If he doesn't do it, he's going to kill these people. I mean, either way, you're going to feel guilty.
Yeah.
But I thought it was an intense moment. It was emotional. I felt I was in that movie. I really was. So
we're gonna do another segment too called rewatch, where we both go back and watch a movie again. I guess it doesn't hold up, but rewatch. I feel like we should go and look at a movie that we both didn't like at one point and go back and see if, because maybe for me, I should look at Man of Steel and see if I like it now.
I mean, it has flaws. I'm not saying it doesn't have flaws. It's not perfect. None of their films are perfect.
Right.
Aquaman's close, but for me,
I'd say Wonder Woman is a better movie.
I enjoyed it. I didn't love Wonder Woman.
I would watch Wonder Woman again before I watch Aquaman.
I thought Wonder Woman was overhyped. That was their first well-received movie, so I can understand being overhyped.
Was it well-received because of the climate of the world?
I think it was. I hate to say it, but I do think it is the reason. It doesn't make me a sexist, by the way.
Yeah, it does. No, I'm just playing. But Aquaman.
But she's a great Wonder Woman.
Momoa, whatever. Yeah. Mimosa is a drink, right? That guy, he looks like he should be a pro wrestler. But
he's a great Aquaman. He's a terrible Conan, though.
yeah, Conan. Oh my goodness, I hated that movie. Yeah, all right. So, but yeah, I don't know. We're getting off on another rabbit trail, but yeah, no, that's the podcast, guys. That's what we do, man. We're gonna just talk movies. We're gonna be random as all get out, but we're gonna have fun in the process.
But next episode, we will discuss more of this DC. What is it called? Is it still the extended universe?
Yeah, we're called DCEU. Is that right? DC Extended Universe.
It was DCEU. I don't know what it's called anymore.
Is the but all right, we'll talk more about that, and then also look forward to our spoiler review of Pet Sematary coming up, and maybe we'll talk about what's that? Shazam. We'll talk about Shazam as well, and see if we liked it and compare it to Captain Marvel, because that's the big comparison, because they are pretty much.
Oh yeah, I heard
they had the same origin.
I see the memes all the time. The real